South Africa on Thursday gave its submissions at the International Court of Justice in a case where Pretoria is accusing Israel of genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. Since the start of this conflict, over 23,000 people have been killed, 10,000 of those being children. Regional and international efforts towards a ceasefire have largely been futile, even as Israel vows to sustain the fight until it eliminates the Hamas militant group completely. Both Israel and South Africa are signatories of the United Nations Genocide Convention, which gives the ICJ jurisdiction to rule on disputes over the treaty. The case at the ICJ will be heard by a panel of 15 regular judges, as well as an additional 2 appointed by each of the opposing sides. Attorney Dr. Anna Hocking now joins us. She's an expert in EU law and international economic law. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna, for giving us the time.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so first of all, I'd just like to start with the side of South Africa. What does South Africa hope to achieve from this particular case at the ICJ?
Yes. So this case is an application for provisional measures. So it's basically to halt the situation and let the court decide in order to determine if there is a merit to the case, what measures are appropriate for it to adequately analyze the situation and for experts and independent investigators to also do their work on the ground, because so far this has not been the case.
Okay. And what is your understanding of the case from the perspectives of both South Africa and Israel?
So South Africa clearly made a case, and a strong case, for that there is a risk, a potential risk of a genocide, the Genocide Convention being violated by Israel due to its ongoing military operation. And the threshold in preliminary measures cases is much lower, because it's not about really proving, but that there is some kind of plausibility to this claim that South Africa is making. And it's been very elaborate on the points and on the evidence, circumstantial evidence that it has been provided. The hearing is ongoing today, and it has, for example, listed numerous of statements made by politicians and linking it to the situation on the ground, and deriving a certain intent from these statements. So that is very persuasive on the South African side. On the other hand, of course, Israel denies it. So far, we have internationally not seen a lot of responses. Of course, the United States is also denying that a genocide is a possible, the violation of the Genocide Convention is a possible outcome or merit in this case. Israel holds that it is justified in its military operation due to its right to self-defense, and so we have these contradicting views in the situation.
Okay. Now, lastly, I'd like to know, of course, Pretoria's case has some international support from countries such as Turkey, Jordan, Malaysia, the 57-member Organization of Islamic Countries, among others. Other nations like the United States and the UK have rejected South Africa's case. So can international alignments have any significance to this particular case?
Yes, certainly. And I think that South Africa is using the way of, or is requesting, international measures in an international court is a positive thing. It's going the way of the law that is supposed to structure and regulate international conduct. We also see a lot of support coming from the global south, which goes in line with what we are observing currently and divide in the international arena of certain states being feeling left out and not being recognized as adequate players. And I think the South African approach of taking it to an international court is the right one, because it is following the procedures that are in place. And we hope, we are eagerly excited to see how the court will decide in these measures, and what measures the court would then order. It could order the halt of the military operation. It could hold the halting of a certain rhetoric or reframing of rhetoric around the humanization of Palestinians. So there are many options. It could order international independent investigators to be let in on the ground. So we are eagerly awaiting the decision.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Hawking, for your insights. Now, a provisional ruling could be made within weeks. However, it could take years before a final ruling is given. I'm Trix Ingado, CGTN.